Hello everyone, welcome to my review of The Black Phone. Yes, this has quickly become one of my most anticipated movies of the year. Certainly after that first trailer dropped, I was highly anticipating this movie, mainly because of two reasons. One, you got Ethan Hawke in it, and I love Ethan Hawke. Second off, it's directed by Scott Derrickson. For those of you who do not know, Scott Derrickson directed a really good horror film, or at least a horror film that I really enjoyed about a decade ago called Sinister. And because he directed Sinister, he actually got the gig for the original Doctor Strange. Um, so, yeah, I was pretty hyped for this movie. There was a lot of really good buzz surrounding this movie in the weeks leading up to its release. So what did I think about The Black Phone? Well, to put it shortly, this has dethroned Scream as my favorite horror movie of the year. So yes, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. So we'll just start right off with the positives for The Black Phone. And the first positive for this film is that I thought the story of this film was very good and very well crafted and put together very nicely. It's like a slow reveal, and then it like sets things up, and then in like the last 10-15 minutes they just like all snap together in like really fast sequences where everything that happened in like the previous 45 minutes or so mattered and all snowballed to this really awesome climax to the film. So I thought that was awesome. And even though the main story of this film doesn't start until like 15-20 minutes or so into the film, I thought that beginning 15 and 20 minutes of the film was so captivating and just was amazing in filling out this world that we are in with some of the backstory and some of the investigations as to what's happening, and just starts all the plot lines that you will see throughout the rest of this film. So I thought the story to this film was top notch. Also, I thought the performances in this film was great. Obviously, you have Ethan Hawke, who is a fantastic actor in pretty much everything he's in. I love that guy. I just love watching Ethan Hawke do his thing, and in this movie he just gets to go full crazy mode and just be so creepy and sinister and dark and messed up that I loved every single bit of time that I got to see him on screen. Also, pretty much all the child actors in this movie do great. Pretty much it's really hit or miss when you get a child actor, because they're either pretty good or they are just not good. So they either did a really good job of casting these child actors, or they did a really good job of pulling the performances out of these child actors, or they just did a really good job as child actors. So all around, I thought the performances in this film were great. Also, another element to this film that I really enjoyed was sort of the ambiguity, the ambiguous element to the film. I really like movies when they have an ambiguous piece to them, where there's just things not answered, or just things are just left ambiguous, like The Shining left very ambiguous, The Thing left very ambiguous. I love it when movies just do ambiguous, or it just doesn't explain some things. In this movie, there are some ambiguous elements to it, of like how what's happening is happening, why what's happening is happening, never explained, and I just love ambiguity. And then my final positive for the film is that there's these like dream sequences in the film that I think are shot beautifully. They're so creepy, like a really grainy style to the film. I just loved the way that these sequences looked. I thought they were creepy. They were the creepiest part of the film, in my opinion, and they totally worked for me. Now let's move on to the mixed aspects of the film. The main mixed aspect to this film is that I wished there had been a little bit more Ethan Hawke in this film. I mean, I loved the Ethan Hawke performance that we got in this film. I just wish he was in the film more, but yet again, I loved him in everything we got, so that it's not really a positive or negative, it's just kind of right there in the middle. Also, something of note for this film. Try to avoid all the trailers if you haven't watched them yet. I think the trailers gave away a little bit too much of what's happening, kind of just walk you through the whole story. So the trailers for this one kind of gave a little bit too much away. I honestly wish I hadn't seen the trailers, so that way I would be way more surprised with what was happening in the film. But overall, those are my two mixed aspects. And then finally, we'll move on to my one negative aspect to this film, and that's the dream sequences. I know I said I liked the way they were shot in my positives, and I stand by that. I think they were shot amazingly. I thought they were very creepy. I just don't think that they fit the story necessarily. It just seems, I don't know, it just seemed too easy for the story to be resolved through these dream sequences. I don't know, I just couldn't really get into them. I couldn't really get on board with them happening. But it's a very small negative in a movie that I thought overall was an amazing movie. So yeah, very, very small negative. So yeah, if you saw the trailers for this film, I think you will definitely enjoy this film. If you're someone that doesn't like horror movies, this is a very tame horror movie. It's just a really good thriller / horror movie. I could see it being argued that this is a thriller over a horror movie, but personally I will consider it a horror movie. I really loved this film, so overall I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 rating, and on the entertainment scale I'm also going to give it a 9 out of 10. So yeah, I'll be seeing 2 movies next week, so I will be posting 2 reviews for them. If you want to check out any of the other movie reviews I've done over the past 2 months or so, you can go ahead and check those out. I got a pretty nice backlog of those. Thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day.